When it comes to selling on eBay, this is the stuff that some YouTubers will not speak about. While I was away in Alaska for 2-3 weeks and Seattle, we had a build-up of returns. It's to be expected. You run an online business, you're going to get returns. It's just part of the game. So I've let them build up while I've been away. So I thought today, let's go through the returns and go through why they sent it back and what the processes are of getting it back onto eBay so it will hopefully sell in the near future. What I should be doing is listing all of this, but returns come first because you are in fact set to a strict deadline with eBay to get your returns sorted. I'm just going to throw out a quick disclaimer because we have been away for 3 weeks. We have had somebody in to collect the returns. So we have refunded the buyers because you are on a little bit of a strict time limit with eBay. I think it's between 3 to 5 days when the item is arrived at your destination. So yes, we've already refunded majority of these people because you have to in a certain amount of time period. I know a lot of people do get down about returns, but it is just the nature of the game. If you are incredibly passionate and proud about the items you're selling, they're going to sell anyway. So in my opinion, returns aren't all that bad. It all depends on how the buyer opens that return, because that does play a huge part in like fees and going forward. And I'll explain that a little bit later on in the video. We have 19 returns to go through, which does sound a lot, but we sell between 19 to 25 items a day, so that's not too bad at all. Now this is a good example of a good return. This is a coat that didn't fit and the buyer has claimed it did not fit, which means the buyer pays for the return shipping. So if all returns were like this, then that's a good thing. It just didn't fit. An item like this, obviously being clothing, it's already going to be very, very hard. Like how many times have you bought something online clothing wise and it just didn't fit? I know I've done it. I know you guys have done it. I know you watching this right now has bought an item of clothing online and it hasn't fit and you've just returned it. That is a really nice, simple, easy return to deal with. There was nothing wrong with the actual item itself. The buyer paid return shipping. Happy days. Same scenario with these 3 pairs of shoes. Perfect. This is what I want to see when a return is open. Item did not fit. That's what you want to see when it comes to returns. That means you don't have to pay the return postage. The buyer has to pay for the return label. So they've now been relisted and they can simply be reskewed and put back on to footwear 5. And again, like I said, pretty confident that they will resell very quickly. Pair of Clarks, pair of Fitvilles, and a pair of Clarks. Again, really nice, easy brands that sell all year round. Now, this type of return is my favorite. Ordered by mistake. How on earth does somebody order something on eBay by mistake? This is an Olympus AF10 camera. We sold it for £29. Buyer received the item and immediately opened a return request for ordered by mistake, which leaves me baffled every time I see a return request like that. How, what, why, when, if? They're all the questions that go through my head when I receive a return request like that. So that's a nice, easy return. It does work, obviously, because we test everything that we sell, and that can live in the X box until it sells again. Don't you just love returns? Next return is whatever this is. I have no idea, but I know that we have refunded them. Aha. We have accidentally ordered item. How do you accidentally order a Panasonic DMR EX769 DVD HDD recorder 160 gig of a free through Dolby Digital with remote? We have to make sure it's obviously our item, which we'll check in a second. Make sure all the things are inside. There should be a remote somewhere. I'll tell you what, at first glimpses, I see no remote. Oh, no, I do. It's inside this cardboard thing. But that's why you need to check your returns to make sure you get returned absolutely everything. We have the remote, we have the HDMI, and we have the power, and the actual unit itself. What you do want to do, especially when looking at returns involving electronics, is check the serial number and make sure that that corresponds with your original listing. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you might get one of them buyers that do the old swap-a-rooney. If you know, you know, where they go and buy something and they send you back a broken one. So make sure you insert a picture of the serial number in the original listing, so then you have something to cross-reference when you get your return back. So far, returns have been pretty easy. I can guarantee you, though, they're not all going to be this easy. Well, we've got multiple to choose from, so we might as well choose this one. Oh, I love returns. Let's have a look what's inside the package. It looks to me like an item of cloth. Oh, there's 2 items of clothing in here. It must be some sort of like 2-piece women's suit thing. It is a Jaeger cotton jacket and trouser set. Again, item doesn't fit, which means we didn't have to pay return postage, and we don't actually have to do too much about that. We'll obviously repack it and get it listed back on the old eBay. And that can sit on CR11 until it sells next. Happy days. A toe cap. This is our first car part return, and it doesn't fit the car. Maybe, maybe they're just wrong, sort of ordered the wrong car part. But again, no expense to us. We can just relist that, skew it back up, and it will sell eventually. Hey, there is a positive to all of these returns. We get to reuse the packing materials again. I'm going to open up 2 returns in one go and show you what has been returned and for what reason. The next 2 items that have been returned is a Mercedes-Benz badge. As if I just said we haven't had a car part return, and we've got 2 in this video so far. That doesn't fit the Mercedes. And then we have Dead or Alive Extreme 2. That got returned because too many scratches on the disc, which I don't really know how I feel about the whole scratches on disc, because I'm not even sure if the camera's going to be able to pick this scratch up that he showed me. It's around here somewhere. It's playable, so I think I'm going to have to change the description when it comes to selling games. This one, it's difficult because Amazon is completely different to eBay. And when I list on Amazon used video games, you list stuff completely different in terms of, if it's got manual, it then goes up from good to very good condition, regardless of how good the disc is. Whereas at eBay, it's completely different. It's subjective. I'm sticking to discs, and gaming stuff is very, very subjective. As long as it plays, I don't see a problem. But it is what it is. It's going to get returned. I'm going to relist it and just put minor scratches in the description. Now this is where it really grinds my gears when it comes to returns. This apparently does not work. However, there is clearly working photos in our listing, because every electronical item that we list, test and all that good stuff, we put a working photo. We have now decided as a company, we are going to, if an item is worth more than £30, we are going to do a video of the item being tested in the eBay description and the eBay photo bit. And that should hopefully eliminate returns. We're trying to eliminate returns as much as physically possible. Obviously, you're not going to be able to stop them ones that have changed their mind or returned because I ordered by mistake, which absolutely baffles me. But we want to try and eliminate as many returns as possible. And I think when it comes to electronics, that is the way we're going to have to go. Yes, the listing process may be slightly slower because we're going to have to get videos of it working or not working, but it is what it is. That is the nature of the game. The returns are nature of the game, and we're just going to have to do that, I think, going forward. But there's an item there is a picture of it working, so absolutely no idea. But like I said, that's when you need to go back and make sure they haven't done a swap-a-rooney looking at the serial number. So it's super important when you are listing to take a photo of the serial number. As if we've had 3 car part returns in 3 weeks. That's absolutely crazy. We put the part number in the description and in the title and in the item specific. So all you would have to do if you're ordering a car part from us is make sure that that marries up with your car. Unfortunately, that obviously hasn't. So yeah, again, doesn't fit the car, Clearly, we've got all the information where it needs be. So again, we're just going to relist that as is and skew it up, and hopefully that will sell sharpish. Yeah, going back to the Matsui DVD player. Apparently, that doesn't work. I think someone's selling porcupines. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly working. I've skipped the DVD, and it's playing nicely. Sound's working. Picture's working. Everything seems to be working. They're the type of returns that you need to do your due diligence checks and a test and make a point to eBay that they've opened the return in an unfair way, because that will actually mark down on your account if they were to return that as item not working. And yeah, it clearly does work. We'll have to battle that because it goes against our defect rating. So yeah, we'll have to challenge that with eBay, and hopefully eBay will decide with us because it's clearly working. On to the next return. The next one, item defective, a Casio X-Film EX S500 camera. And apparently the reason why this has been returned is because it doesn't read SD cards. We normally do test that. However, you've probably seen in sort of future videos and past videos, we have thousands upon thousands of cameras. So this may have just slipped through the net and we didn't test the old function of the readability of the SD card. So we're going to do that now. Yeah, while that camera's charging because it's currently dead, it must have just died during the older postage. We're going to go and open another return. Ah, this was fun. This is a return for VHS player. Again, we have working photos of this working. And when he sent an item not working picture in the old return request, he didn't actually have it plugged in. So I wonder if it actually... if he knows what he was doing with this item. That's the problem. That's the problem we seem to have. Because we sell a lot of VHS players and a lot of old school tech, sometimes people don't actually know how to work it. So then we try our very, very best to obviously explain how to work it and how it works and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it gets returned anyway. I would be very, very surprised if this doesn't work. I'm going to say that I am 99.9% sure that this will work. Let's try the Wombles. Maybe I was wrong. This seems to be like shorting out for some reason now, which is very strange. Because when we first tested this, it was working fine. I have absolutely no idea what's happened to this VHS player. Yeah, it's completely dead. Now this is where I would have to check the serial number just to make sure they haven't done a swap-a-rooney. Just check the original listing and there's a picture of it working, so I have no idea what's happened here. Next job, check the serial number to make sure it's definitely ours. It's now even got the Wombles stuck in it as well. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. That specific VHS player has been sent, didn't get returned, didn't get sent to the buyer first time, so we had to resend it. The buyer then gets it on the second send, and now it's been returned because it doesn't work. I'm wondering if the courier's done something, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the courier's damaged it during transit and it's just sort of knocked something inside there. But it definitely does not work. And the last return, well, isn't actually a return. The buyer hasn't said anything about these magazines. I'm wondering if Every looked at the parcel like that and said, well, that is absolutely damaged. We are not going to send that. So what we're going to do is return it to sender. And I think that's exactly what has been done here. I think that's a return to sender jobby. But you know what they say about some of these courier companies? They do love to lob the boxes around and leave them in the wet. So I'm just saying that could be the possibility. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy that type of video, not sure if you're going to like that type of video, but I like to sort of show the good, the bad and the ugly of when it comes to reselling on eBay. It's not all sunshine and daisies. It's not all about the sales and the skewing and the buying. Sometimes you have to deal with the slightly darker side of eBay in returns. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy that video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. We are on the road to 11,000 subscribers. I can only do that with your guys' help. So smash that subscribe button and ding dong that bell so you do get notified when I upload next. I'll be your boy Kieran. I'll see you beautiful on the next one. Bish, bash, flipping, bosh.